Greetings everyone and welcome to my video. I'm Peter Updike, and on today's video we're going to be talking about muzzleloader hunting. I had a viewer message me and ask me about muzzleloader hunting. Where can I go? How do I get started? I know nothing about muzzleloaders. How can you help me? So I thought I'd make a video on muzzleloader hunting. I hunt here in the state of Florida. I will tell you where you can go muzzleloader hunting right now in the state of Florida for white-tailed deer without a quota permit. Alright, I'll tell you that towards the end of the video. But first, you're going to need to purchase a muzzleloader. If you don't have a muzzleloader and you're not acquainted with the process of hunting with a muzzleloader, well, that's what this video is about. I'll show you what I shoot. I shoot a Ruger M7750. It's called an inline muzzleloader. That means the charge and the primer are all in line with itself. There's no offset ignition system. Okay, it looks like a bolt gun, but it is indeed a muzzleloader. It's a modern day muzzleloader, and this firearm is legal to hunt with in the state of Florida. If you hunt out of state and you go hunt out of state for elk in Colorado or mule deer in Montana with a muzzleloader, you will need to check the rules and regulations, because some places they're kind of complex. You can't shoot or hunt with a scope in some states. You need to remove the scope and use just open sights. You can't use pellets. We'll talk about pellets. You can't use sabots. We'll talk about sabots. But in the state of Florida, you can use all of those. Everything I'll recommend here today, you can use deer hunting in the state of Florida. So again, this is my my setup. It's a 50 caliber, and it's fitted with a Redfield veritable scope. Okay, and it's legal to hunt with a scope in the state of Florida. So you've purchased your gun. Now you'll need your tackle or hardware. You'll need to get a box, just like fishing. You'll need to get a tackle box. You'll need to get cleaning rods, because muzzleloaders are dirty. Okay, you're shooting black powder. You never ever want to shoot smokeless powder in a black powder rifle. Okay, it'll blow up and it'll be a bad day. So always make sure you're shooting black powder. All right, so this is what I use. Black powder in the granules. Okay, this is Pyrodex black powder, and it's in granules. If you hunt or if you shoot with granules, you will need a measurer in order to measure the amount of powder that you'll need before you pour it down the barrel. And that's what this is. I have this preset. I pour my powder. Alright, so we're just going to say this is what I use. I use the same thing all the time. I had to change up, because when I went elk hunting, I wasn't allowed to use my pellets, and I wasn't allowed to use my sabots in Colorado. So I had to change up and had to go out and buy all new stuff. So it takes a little research. But this is what my rifle is set for, so that's where I'm keeping it at. I have the pellets, and I'll show them to you. I like the pellets. I would prefer to use the pellets. Pyrodex pellets, okay? 2 per load is what I use. And they're just solid pellets, and you drop them down the barrel, okay? Simple, right? That's what I started out with, and they work really well, and it's an option for you. Again, if you're hunting in another state, you may need to make an adjustment, buy something else, because some states it's not legal. So here's my measure, and I have it all preset, okay? So I just take my powder and pour it into my measure, just like so, okay? Get a few of those granules off, and always seal this back up, get it out of the way. Then you close this up, and pour it down the barrel. Like so. Now for the projectile, you have options. Sabots. What's a sabot? A sabot is a projectile with a plastic cone wrapped around it. What happens is that plastic cone squeezes tight inside the barrel and puts a good spin on your projectile. Some places they're not legal, okay? They work really well, and I would prefer to shoot a sabot. These are 50 caliber sabots. I also have 50 caliber power belts. They have a plastic cone on the bottom which house the black powder in a tight configuration beneath the bullet. Okay, that's what you want. These are legal to use, and I highly recommend them. Now this is a 223 grain bullet. It's a power belt bullet. I found that my gun did not shoot as well with the smaller bullet. My thought was that if I shot, this seems like a big bullet, but for a muzzle loader it's quite common. Okay, this bullet does not shoot as accurately as the larger bullets. I have, these are 300 grain, and I found that the 300 grain, when shot in my black powder rifle, are more stable and shoot more accurately. So that's what I use. Okay, so now I've got my powder in my rifle. Now when you go to buy a rifle, you're probably going to want to go somewhere where they have options. Okay, if you go just to one store and they got two rifles and they're both the same thing, obviously they're going to try and sell you that rifle. You'll want to do your research. You'll want to look into it a little bit and find out what's right for you. Okay, maybe talk to some folks that have one. And this particular rifle is kind of pricey. It was I don't know what they sell for now. I think I paid $400 for it, and then I had to get the scope and put on there. But it's a good gun. It's a Ruger, right? And the trigger pull is good. I like this gun. I've killed a lot of deer with this gun. All right, so now we're gonna load the muzzle loader. You take the power belt and you just kind of get it started in the barrel, shove it in there. And you're gonna take your ramrod, okay? Now I know in a lot of movies you'll see guys jamming the thing down there and packing it tight. You don't need to do that. Don't do that. All you're gonna do is you're gonna just take that ramrod, get it started, okay, and just slide it down nice and easy until it bottoms out. And when it bottoms out, you'll feel it, and then just give it a little tug, a little push. Not much, okay? Just seat it good and tight, okay? That's your ramrod. That's your powder. That's your measuring stick and your projectiles. All right, we're ready to go. Next thing you'll need is you'll need some primers. These are CCI, and they're a little old, so every couple of years I just buy a new box whether I need them or not. Okay, if you keep your primers and your powder in air conditioning, there is the threat of humidity getting in there and ruining your primer. Not so much with the powder, but primers can get old. So you've got to prime your rifle. So once your rifle is primed, it is then hot. Okay, it's just like a loaded gun. All right, it needs to be treated as such. All right, this was by no stretch of the imagination is this a toy, or should it ever be dealt with as a toy. It is a real firearm with real dangers. You need to be careful. Okay, so I'm going to prime my rifle. It's got a nipple here. You slide the cap over the nipple. Put it on tight, close the bolt, put it on full safety. All right? It's ready to go. The gun is hot. I haven't shot the gun in a year. I want to go muzzleloader hunting, so I need to check it. I'm going to check it now. I've got a target downrange, and I've just set up a little stand right here, a little rest, so I can shoot. Now I'm in my backyard. I've got a 1,500-acre swamp behind my house. It's nothing but trees, vegetation, and water. There's nobody back there. Okay, I've got a little stop set up back here, but I assure you, I'm shooting in a careful, well thought out place. Okay, so I don't recommend anyone shooting in their backyard. I take liberties I probably shouldn't, but I feel pretty safe, pretty confident that I can do this without endangering anyone else. So here we go. Okay, so next, talk about eye protection, ear protection, and if you're going to be hunting on public land, you'll need to wear 500 square inches of glaze orange when hunting with a muzzleloader in the state of Florida on public land. Okay? Alright, so where can we go hunting? My choice, if I was to leave and go public land hunting tomorrow, I would go to the Osceola National Forest in North Florida. The season is open now and will be open until October 31st. That's Halloween Day. If you want to go deer hunting during the muzzleloader season, now's the time. Go to the Osceola State Forest. Is right up there by Interstate 10, and where Interstate 10 and 75 kind of come together on the, I guess it'd be on the east side of Interstate 75 and north of Interstate 10. So that's my muzzleloader. You'll need to get cleaning rods. You'll need to get patches. Again, you'll need to get some tools, little tools to clean the nipple. You'll need to get some bore cleaner. Now, muzzleloaders are very dirty by nature. When you shoot one, it's black powder. Black powder makes a big mess. If you don't clean your black powder rifle after shooting it and you put it away in your gun safe, when you come back to get it, it will be ruined. Okay? Don't do that. All right? You'll end up taking it to a locksmith and he'll end up saying, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." All right, so what we're going to do is I got the target down there. I'm going to turn the camera around just for fun and point it at the gun. We're going to see what it looks like for a black powder rifle, what it looks like to see the report, to see the smoke. Instead of pointing the camera downrange, I'm going to point it at the rifle. I'm going to try not to shoot the camera. Okay, so here we go. Let me set it up. I don't want to get too carried away here. All right, let's zoom it in a little bit just for fun. All right, so that's my rest, okay? My target's downrange, and I'm just going to check it, make sure we're still on the money. If we're on the money, we don't have anything to worry about. We can go hunting, okay? But you always need to check. You always need to check your firearm before you go hunting, even if it just sits in the safe, okay? All right, fire in the hole. Here we go. I don't know what that looked like from your end, but I know what it looked like from mine. Let's go see what we did. Here, let me fix the camera here. All right, as always, all my videos are unscripted, unedited. I just make them, man, right? Let's see where that bullet went. I kind of think you're going to maybe think I shot this target before I got here, but I didn't, I promise you. I think I'm ready to go hunting. So that's only 35 yards, but you know, if I was 8 inches to the left, I knew I'd have a problem, right? And I would need to go to the range and fix it. But seeing how it's dead on, that's pretty cool. I'm ready to go and I'm excited to do it. I hope that you can go muzzleloader hunting. Most of the muzzleloader hunts here in Florida require a quota permit. It's only a 3-day hunt. You need to seriously ask yourself before you go out and spend the money, is it worth doing, okay? Here's what the thought process is. The thought process is that I can get out into the woods early in the season, and I can get my buck before, all right, this is what we think. This is what we actually think. We think we can get our buck before they're all gone, right? But if you think that way, you think in error. Think this way. During the muzzleloader season, if you're hunting a 100-acre block, and let's say for the sake of argument that there are 20 deer in that 100-acre block, and let's say there are 5 of those deer are legal bucks. 2 of them, maybe 1, will make itself available for harvest during the muzzleloader season. But as the gun season moves forward and deer activity heightens, more deer will make themselves available in time. So the muzzleloader season is not a first come, first serve, kill a deer sort of thing. It is in fact just your chance to get out and do a little hunting, get out of the house, get out from work. Don't expect to see a lot of deer during that time of year. Now there's some places I've killed 3 deer, 3 legal bucks with my muzzleloader in probably 25 years. I've killed probably a half a dozen hogs, and I have enjoyed muzzleloader hunting, but I would never ever let it take the place of hunting during the rut, whenever that is in your area. If it's during muzzleloader season, we'll get out there and enjoy and get you a big old buck. But don't go with the attitude that I'll get out there early and get my deer, because it just doesn't work that way. You'll get your deer when you get in the place where the deer are moving. You'll be in your stand and everything will fall in place. The only way you can do that is if you hunt. So hunt like you mean it. I love the muzzleloader hunt. I've spent money to do it, and we'll do it, and I will continue to apply for quota permits to do it. Again, if you don't have a quota permit and you want to go muzzleloader hunting, give the Osceola National Forest a try. It's big. I like that. Again, it's a national forest. It's real wilderness, and you'll have a great experience there. All right, love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Like, subscribe, or just visit back. All right, see you. Bye.